Diane?
The question was, would I be in favor of increasing building sizes?
That's close. More land zone for commercial and industrial
more land
use.
zone. Okay. I thought you answered building size. I know that there are only 740 acres zoned unbuilt in the county right now for industrial expansion, and that is not enough. There's no reason why there can't be more, and except for some of the infrastructure things that I was talking about. That might put a damper on some of that and need to be developed. But we need more land zone for business and industry. We have a lot of people who'd like to work. We have a lot of skilled people. We have high school students coming out of high school. We had Chimacum High School graduated, 25% of their graduating class was in the top 10% of the state. You know, these kids are getting full ride scholarships to big universities. They're smart kids and they're pretty well trained kids. We have Jefferson, WSU training kids in how to do video. We have kids who've had all kinds of interesting experiences and have learned very good skills. There's no reason why we can't employ our kids as well as our adults. But if we have more business, if we have more companies to employ them. I'm also in favor of allowing, at least on a site-specific basis, larger buildings. I think you just spoke to that, and I thought that was what the question was. I know that there's been a move not to allow big box stores into these communities, maybe this community, but there are industries and businesses to employ people that are not big box stores. Okay.
John Austin?
Sure. Looking at the Jefferson County Code, there is a limit on building size, but it's important to note that within a 5-acre area, one can have 2 or 3 or 4 maximum size buildings. So if a manufacturer needed to have larger building space, the current code allows it. And if we found that there was some large manufacturer that was requiring a larger building, we could certainly look at a code change, although I haven't heard a need to do that yet, even from thoughtful. To have more areas zoned for commercial and industrial, I think the county commissioners have already demonstrated an interest in that when we allowed another 20 acres to be added as commercial, light commercial out by the airport. Also, it's important to note that in order to have commercial growth, we need to follow the Urban Growth Act, and we're working hard on the urban growth area, getting a sewer in. Good examples right over here at the large grocery store that we all use, and it cannot expand anymore because so much of its space is used up by a drain field. So if we want to have a larger grocery store, we need to get a sewer in here, and we're working on that really hard.
Thank you. What changes will encourage small business owners to create more jobs and specific actions and policies? And I believe we're with Diane.
Still feels like the same question.
Well, it may feel like it, but it really is a different question, just along the same lines.
So, what businesses?
Could you repeat the question?
Sure.
Yeah.
What changes will encourage small business owners to create more jobs, specific actions and policies?
It's really a question I need to look into a bit more because I don't know what is currently prohibiting them from adding, other than the economic downturn itself. It depends on what area we're talking about. If we're talking about Port Townsend businesses, which is where many of the businesses in the county are, there is a kind of an enmity between Port Townsend and the rest of the county that the outlying districts really don't want to shop in Port Townsend. And part of the reason is because they feel that Port Townsend doesn't listen to them, and the other reason is that it's a long ways to go, and if they are less, as Norm puts it, less well-resourced, they need to go someplace like Walmart where stuff is cheaper, where they can buy underwear and socks, where they can buy the basic necessities of life, and so they don't shop in the county. We need those kind of stores here as well as tourist-related stores. And that, unfortunately, it is a fact of life. You're not supposed to talk negative stuff when you're out here, but there is a negative perception, and it hurts business. I don't know what the commissioners can do to change that, but possibly by good leadership and by making real efforts to encourage the kind of businesses that speak to rural people. Maybe that would help. Stop there.
Thank you. John Austin?
Again, the infrastructure is important. I'd like to see QFC be able to expand as it expands and be able to hire more people. And that's particularly also true in the South County. Also, the human infrastructure. We have a Team Jefferson, which is a group of very bright people, retired businessmen, who make themselves available to young persons and business owners to mentor them on how to become entrepreneurs. We have some great examples down in the South County, the Bishas, who have encouraged kids to form their own shellfish business. And as I mentioned earlier, that brings in $20 million a year. Work like that, I think, is extremely important. Also, training kids on how to be good employees. At the mill, which is arguably certainly one of the largest employers in the county. There are complaints at times that, gee, we want to find good people who are willing to show up on time, who we can rely upon, and the Team Jefferson is very helpful in training people. We have an Olympic workforce development that is funded by the feds and by the state that also helps young people get into jobs and know how to stay in jobs and get the word out as to where the jobs are available.
Thank you. Good work.
What do you think of when you hear small business? Think of a candle store, a bookshop, a little cafe. The mill is a small business. That is not a major industry with plants and services and distribution nationwide. The thing that the mill provides is mid-level opportunities for bright people and innovative people to grow and make the kind of wage where they can support and raise a family and buy a home. The current business climate that we have does not have a lot of that. There's entry-level stuff, and if you figure out how to start or own your own business, you can move up. But there's no managerial and career path within a lot of the businesses we have. If you go across the Hood Canal Bridge, and you go two stoplights down and turn right, you'll be in the 12 Trees Business Park, where they have 700,000 square feet of R&D and manufacturing space. There's a company in there named Watson Furniture that has 220 employees. They're as green as you can get. They use all recycled materials to make office cubicles. Their building is plopped right in the middle of an apple orchard, and nothing around it has changed. No landscape, no pervious surfaces except where the trucks park, and they contribute lots of tax money to their county. We recently, with the stroke of a pen and no citizens' debate, downzoned property in this area from commercial and light industrial to residential. This is not the path that we need to encourage small business growth. We need to allow people opportunities, not put roadblocks in front of it.